Hi everyone, welcome to the last video in this series from Colour the Forest by Lotte Forde. We don't have lots to do, but I'm going to add a few maybe add a few embellishments and bits and pieces once we finish the main bulk of the colouring. I'm going to work on this leaf to start with, the leaf boat. Let's come in a tad closer so we can see the bottom half that we're working in. Okay, let's do the main part of the boat just in a base colour. I think we're trying to head away from the colours we've used for the leaves so it looks a bit different. I might start actually with the 53. This one, this is quite a pale, almost slightly fluorescent green, but it'll work once we've got some other colours with it. So I'm just doing what I did with a lot of the other bits and pieces in the picture and putting down a sort of base colour, and then thinking about what else to do. I think we're going to fill in these little sections. Need to colour carefully around the gnome and the drinking flask, maybe. I think it's a flask. There's a little tiny bit in there. Even if I forget to do it with another green, at least I've done it with one. Might actually be easier if I colour the flask next before I do any more green. If we do it quite dark, it won't matter if we sort of go over it a little bit. That might be okay. I think I'm just going to put my lamp on a little bit dark in here. I don't know whether it helps you, but it certainly helps me to see what I'm doing. It makes the page look a bit more yellowy, I think, and it probably puts the shadow under my hand a bit more, but I think it's okay. The sun is just actually come out, but it's because it's round the corner of the house now. It's not coming in the window very well. It's actually, no, it hasn't come out. Actually, I'm imagining it. I think it's the light from the lamp that's tricking my eyes. But my eyes have been a bit funny today. In fact, last few days, when I come in from outside, they sort of start pulsating, and I've had it before. We're going to use number 52. I know we used it for these leaves, but I think it'll work. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ignore this top bit at the minute, and I'm just going to go in each of these sections. I know I said I was going to do that next, but I'm not. And just sort of fill them in, making them a bit lighter in the centre than on the edges. Yeah, I think it's where it's so bright outside at the moment, but if it continues, I will speak to an optician, don't worry, but I'm pretty sure it's nothing too nasty. I know what to look out for with my eyes because I've been told with the optician the sort of nasty things that might happen, so I think it's fine. I have regular tests. I actually get free eye tests because my dad's got glaucoma. In the UK, you can get a free eye test if anyone in your family has glaucoma, which is an easy way, I guess, for the NHS and for the government to do things. But because my dad got glaucoma so late that his optician said it wasn't hereditary, it wasn't the genetic type, but I still get a free eye test, but which is quite good. Some people get them anyway. Here in the UK, it depends on your income, so children get them free up until the age of, it depends, they get them until they leave full-time education or until they're 19, and I think, I don't know if pensioners get them free, actually, I'm not sure. I'm certainly, it's a possibility. And the same with dentists as well, children get them free. I'm just going to do that bit in there again, just because I've made it a bit messy. Yes, the children get dental treatment free. Again, I think it's up until 19. but I'm not sure. I need to check that out actually, because they're probably due a checkup. And yeah, prescriptions, I think they get free into the same in the same thing, because my son has got a exemption card for prescriptions because of medication he's on, because it's the condition that he's got. He's allowed free prescriptions. Some people can get free prescriptions for certain medical conditions, not all. And but he, because of his age, he doesn't need to use it, but he was advised to apply for it early so that it came in time for his birthday, so he could continue to get his free medication. So that's okay. We're very lucky. I think because his condition stops him from being able to drive, we were also told he was going to get some vouchers for public transport to save some money on those, because it's not his fault that he has to take it. Now, in some countries that might be deemed as unfair, because public transport might be cheaper than travelling by car, but unfortunately here it isn't always. It depends. I think you can see what I'm doing. I'm just doing the edges here. Now on these turned up leaves, I'm going to sort of do the bottom and then just fade it upwards. Yeah, I think driving is probably cheaper than public transport, but it depends how much you use your car, because you have to pay a yearly tax and your insurance, which can be quite expensive, and an MOT, which is like a special sort of test to make sure your car is roadworthy. I think I'm going to do these from the top down. And so those things you have to pay regardless of how much you use your car. And so if you use it just a little bit, it's probably cheaper not to have one. If you use it a lot, it's cheaper to have one. Right. Do this. I am yawning away. I'm getting tired actually, to be honest. This is 77. It's getting latish in the day for me. It's 4 o'clock. It's not that late, but because I get up and start work at, generally start work at 7, so I wasn't working that hard today, to be honest, but you know, it's still, I still feel like it's getting to the end of the day. I'm going to use a slightly lighter brown, the 76, for this little base bit. It's a sort of wickery, so what I'm going to do, or woven or something, there's a pattern on it, so I'm going to fill it all in gently and then sort of try and go over the pattern a bit in darker bits to make it look a bit uneven. I don't know if that works. And then we need to do the actual bottle. Might use this colour, number 85. It's actually a warm grey. I'm going to make the bottle a bit lighter in the middle if I can. Same as the lid. You could do the lid a different colour if you want to, but I was quite happy having them the same. Right, now we have this sort of stick. I think I'm going to go for a dark brown again, just because the braces are a light brown. So I think if we use a 76, it will stand out. Now I'm going to go quite lightly to start with. I'm just going to put a light layer of colour down. I'm going to colour that bit in too. I made a mistake, didn't I, with that? It's not a finger. And I'm going to go down to this sort of rope. Now I want to go along each edge a bit darker. And it will start to look slightly more hopefully three-dimensional. What I'm doing is putting a line just inside of the black edge line. There we go. Now, what's that? That's like an anchor, isn't it? I'm thinking I'm going to use this colour for this flag post. I'm sure that's the right word. It's not a flagpole, it's a flag post, obviously. The twine on the oar, I'm going to use 16. Now I think this is a leaf. What do you reckon? Do you think it's a leaf? I think it is. I'm going to colour it as if it is a really dark leaf. I'm going to use this one, 579. And put a lightish layer overall first though. And then we'll add, I'm wondering whether to make the anchor this colour too. And then I'm going to try and go a bit dark on the edges. Sort of fade it in a bit. There we go. I'm going to do the anchor this colour. I don't know what it would be made of, because it looks like a float, so I don't know. Now our flag needs to stand out, and I think our water is going to be a bluey green, so we certainly don't want a green or a blue flag, so I'm thinking maybe just a red. Whoops, this red here, the oh, that's the one we used for the sweater. Let's use this one. This is the 29. It's a slightly different colour to the top. We don't say sweater in the UK. Not, well, we do a little bit, but we usually say jumper. Or for a sweatshirt, we would say sweatshirt. Not like a sweatshirt is the sort of a jumper is usually knitted. I'm just seeing what I've done and what I haven't done. I think I'm going to grab this light grey. This is 800. And I'm going to do the insides of the sleeves here with this, just to make it look like there's a bit of shadow in there, because they wouldn't be just white, and a little bit maybe on the edges of the shirt. Yeah, if a shirt is really a I have missed some red here. I can just do it. This is the 299 that I use for the top. A shirt is a buttoned up collared thing that you wear to the office or a wedding. A t-shirt is a t-shirt. And a top could be any, really. Right, water. I think I've got a bit of a choice between turquoise and aquamarine, or French green. Let me have a quick peep. So the turquoise is number 35. That is quite, I think this is the right colour. 35. And we're just gonna gently hand far up the pencil, back and forth. Now if you want to draw, see we've got these black lines where we've got the drips and the ripples and these and these. If you want to go over them with a white pen to make it look more like there's sort of waters, reflections and things, you're going to have to do a much thicker layer of water and pencil than this, because doing a thin layer like this, whoops, if you put some white pen on top of here, it will just disappear. It will just erase the black and you won't see the white pen. There's so much white paper still showing through that it will just fade away. So It's not a good idea to try and put white over the top. It's just, unless you do want it to just fade away, but I doubt you will. You might. You can do it however you wish. Just because I said you might not doesn't mean you shouldn't do it how you think is best. Now we've got a drip. Can you see the drip that I've just coloured over? These two are quite dark and small. There's not much I can do with them, but this one isn't. I'm going to colour that one in extra dark like this. Now that's probably as dark as you would have to colour your water if you wanted your white pen to stand out, and that is a lot more layers than I'm doing here, a lot more work. So it's quite nice to just not worry about that. Again, we've got another drip here which I'm gonna go over. Now, as I did with the sky, I'm sort of going to go up to the edge of that line. I think it just finishes it off properly. I'm not worrying too much about whether I'm going over the grass on the green or not, because this is quite a greeny blue. I don't think it's going to show up that much if I do. Now, when we have finished this bit, we've got our sort of base water. Now, it's up to you to decide how much you want to go over this. What I think is quite good is to put a bit extra around here, because the boat would be casting a bit of a shadow into the water, and there would be a bit of it under the water, wouldn't there? So we'll put a little bit of darker colour there. I think that looks better. Just going to tidy up there. I'm thinking where our water drips are, we could put a little darker bit as well, just to add a bit of interest really to the page. It isn't necessarily, and here that where our anchor is like that. You could add a darker bit. I think I might just add a darker bit in each of these stripy areas. I'm keeping it still quite rough. I'm not going in really hard with the point of my pencil, just on the side. I'll get quite a thick line. That's fine with me. Like that. There we go. Now, what else can we do? We can add a few embellishments. I did say I was going to. I'm going to keep on this bottom half at the moment. I'm just going to grab a few pens. Right. Now, I think that the boat itself could do with a little bit of shadow drawn in. I'm just going to do that. You don't have to do this. This is 55. And I'm going to do it under here where this is turned over. I feel like it might be casting a little bit of a shadow, so I'm just drawing that in to start with. There we go. And then also on this side with this bit. Like that, and under the feet and the bottle. There we go. Doesn't necessarily, I think in there might be a bit darker too. It doesn't necessarily make a huge difference, but I'm quite happy to just add in those few little bits of detail. Now, I was tempted, and I think I will, to use my sparkly pen. This is my Sakura 700, to go over all of the marks on the water to make them just glisten. I think it's quite nice. I was looking at some sun on water recently, and it was really beautifully, it wasn't quite sparkling, but it was the ripples and it was just, I can't describe it, it was lovely. There are all sorts of shapes in the water as well and things like that. I might look to be doing it in a strange order. I'm doing it to try and find a way that won't mean I'm dragging my hand through it when I'm doing the next bit. There we go. So those are sparkles. I don't know if you can see those. You probably can't. I'm going to come out a little bit. If I tip them to the light, you might just about be able to see them. Anyway, we're going to use a white as well to do some, just a little bit on the flowers. So this, I've got a Gellyroll 10. It's quite a thick pen. I've got to put my hand round that way so I don't smudge the glitter. I'm going to go all the way around the edges of here, on top of that black line that's on the centre of our flower centre, just to put like that. Now you could do this on the small flowers around the edge as well, but to be honest it's a bit too fiddly for me. You might want to use a smaller nibbed pen as well if you do that, but I'm only going to do it on these. I'm not going to do it in the centres. I like how I did the centres. It's just to soften, sort of softens that centre a little bit, which I rather like. You could use your silver pen on this line as well, but I'm not sure it's really going to be silver. Not that the water is silver, but you know what I mean. I hope. There we go. Let me have a look. See if there's anything else I want to do. I don't think so. I think our gnome is looking quite happy in the water there. A few other things you could possibly do. As I said, you could put some dots on the flowers on the outside. You could do some sparkles on Gnome's hat, maybe outline each little shape in a purple glitter pen or something like that. But to be honest, I'm quite happy with how it looks. So there it is, Huckleberry Gnome. This video is a little shorter than the others in the series. I thought it might very well be, just because of what we had left to do. But I hope that's okay. I probably should have done our little gnome in this episode, but you know, it's fine. So there it is. I'm just stretching the edge away so I can get a photograph while I'm just finishing off. So thank you for watching. I hope that you have a lovely day and happy colouring.